Well, in this episode, we double your pleasure, double your fun with a double feature.
And Bill Belichick's here. I was looking at a meme online. He looks like a crabby old man, you know? He's just like, he looks like the emperor. He is the emperor if you think of it. Oh, we're getting off topic.
We are.
Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah, stay tuned, because we're hitting you up with a double feature this time. Bucket of Blood and A Dangerous Game.
Ooh, good movies.
Yeah.
Especially The Most Dangerous Game. That's it's almost the 100th year anniversary of that film.
Really?
It came out in 32. So another, 11 years, 12 years? Bad at math. 13 years. 13 years, yeah. Yeah, that's about right.
All right, stick around. He's going to learn some math, and we're going to school you on some movies.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Walk the Plank, the Dead and Buried Treasures pre-show. I'm your host, Rich Kanji, and to my right, your left, the series creator, star, actor, I think cat burglar,
Before
Eric Sprouse.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, I'm on my way to a Penguin game tonight, and I know we had to come over here to the studio and do the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, how can I do something on camera? I almost wore my Crosby jersey. Maybe I'll wear that in the next show.
Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
got this big Crosby jersey, like a hockey jersey.
Right.
But I wanted something a little bit more. It's for blackout night. So I'm thinking, okay, I could do something like this. But like the only thing about this is hoodies make me look like I'm big. Like I said at the beginning, like Bill Belichick. Like he's always like all hoodie-eyed, and, But at least I'm ready for the game. Good to go.
Yeah. And after the game, he's going to turn the jersey inside out and turn the hat backwards, and he's going to rob Mario Lemieux's place.
He doesn't know it though. He won't even hear me coming.
No.
I'm such so stocky.
Oh man.
Stocky, is that a word?
It is now.
I'm not sure if I'd be stocky. You'd never see me. Well, no, you'd see it. You'd probably see me. Somehow I'd be seen. Hey Mario, I'm not really robbing your house. Okay.
I don't think he
That's
watches
true.
the show.
I know. But somebody somewhere will say, and then Eric Sprouse, I heard him. He said he's going to rob Mario's house. And all of a sudden, Mario's house is like robbed. And they're going to be like,
yeah. And this is all evidence right here.
being a Pittsburgher, I know how we do math.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Sprouse said he was.
Yeah. It was on the air. So
Yeah. And him and Bill Belichick are going to rob Mario's. Yeah. That's what it'd be
and
like.
if it's on the internet, it's true. So
That's right. That's what my college students think.
See.
If it's online, it's true.
So, getting off topic, but
What's this show again?
yeah, talking about robbing people. No, so you have a double feature on the show.
Yeah,
And,
double feature night.
That's crazy. That's the first time here, huh?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. We're going to do a double feature of of a couple of movies, or not so much. Well, one of them is kind of horror themed, but the other one is more like an adventure movie.
Mm-hmm. And that would be The Most Dangerous Game,
right?
With
And
Fay Wray.
yeah, from King Kong. Who would have guessed, right? She's the King Kong's girlfriend in this, so you better not be messing around on this island. But yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. The Most Dangerous Game came out in 1932, so like I said before, it's we're only 13 years off from that anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So probably, I'm guessing, everybody in that film is probably long gone by now. But it's a good movie. It's about a boat that crash lands on an island, and there's a crazy billionaire who lives on the island who's retired there. He's a game hunter, and he moved to this millionaire mansion on the island just to hunt game for sport. So when the people crash there, that's the ultimate sport. So the most dangerous game. He starts hunting them and picking them off one by one.
Wow, so this is almost like a horror version of Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Because you had the billionaire and his wife.
Yeah.
In this one, they're hunting Gilligan and the skipper. And
Yeah, there's not a lot of comedy in it, but there's a lot of really cool camera moves that were before its time, like the big dollies and the slow zooms and the moving stuff like that. I thought it was very creative, especially for its time, because nowadays you can use a camera that's like as big as the palm of your hand,
Right.
and you can do this stuff and make it real easy. Back in the day, your camera was about as big as me, Bill Belichick, and you have to move it through the woods and through the vines and everything. And I'm almost sure that about 95% of this film was shot on a soundstage.
Really?
Yeah, none of it. There was a few very small parts shot on the island itself. Even when the boat, the boat's a miniature, and in most of the shots, it's a miniature. Even on the big explosion scene. But so yeah, that's the first movie of the double feature, and then we have
Bucket of Blood.
Bucket of Blood.
Yeah.
So, and that's with the late Dick Miller. In fact, he just passed away.
Wow.
And I just discovered this. He died last year. And so Dick Miller was an icon in the horror industry. In fact, he still went to conventions even in his advanced age. And he was in he was in Gremlins. He was the guy who's like, Gremlins are in my... And he was from like the World War II veteran.
Yeah.
And he was in Chopping Mall, which is coming up later on this show as the season goes on. And what was the one that he was... Bucket of Blood, of course. There was another one he was well known for. The name escapes me right now. I'll probably remember it later on. But he was like one of those icons in horror that you knew his face. You might not know his name, but he would make some fun films for horror. And so he does A Bucket of Blood. And that one, of course, is about a starving young artist who finds a different way to make art by killing the models, covering them with plaster, and then it's easy. They look amazing.
Right.
And so the critics are all like, oh, they love it. But when they start finding out there's bodies in there, it all starts to go awry.
That sounds great.
So it's a lot of fun tonight.
So, my other favorite part of doing this with you, other than just spending time with you, of course.
How else would you want to spend a day? I don't know. I'd like to hang out with Eric Sprouse.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's educational.
Who doesn't?
This is like an educational show, not just for you, but for me.
Yeah, it is. It's
I learn
educational.
a lot. But my favorite part is when you bring on props from shows that you do, because there's a lot that goes into Dead and Buried Treasures. Not just the editing you do, because that's crazy hard, and there's a lot involved in that, which we'll definitely talk about that more, because that's a whole show in itself. But the props, I always love to see what you're bringing to the show, because some of them are just simply things you have found in stores, some you've ordered online, some you've made yourself.
Yeah, I have two tonight. I have one that I did find that we used on the show as a radio, that we used to radio back and forth from like the scouting party on the island or whatever to the ship. And we have another one that's a special prop that's going to be seen in next episode. We're introducing a new character.
Spoiler
alert.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another character. So
So we got, this would be the radio you speak of?
that's the radio. Yep.
Yeah, I do remember seeing this. I even see this in your intro floating on by.
Yeah, that is the one you see in the intro of the show floating
pretty
on
cool.
by. That's really cool.
So how does this
Well,
work?
it actually does a whole thing, and the way I needed it is whenever I have to communicate with the mainland from the island, I'll kind of give it a, and then it kind of goes like that, and then you can think, Jack, I'm here on the island. I don't have any reception here, but that's how we do it, we get back and forth. But it wasn't made like that. It was made to be a haunted radio, so when it's on the air, it actually plays this. And it tells haunted stories.
That's
or
awesome.
Another one like this. That's kind of good advice.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun. So I use it for my purposes, but it does tell. In fact, I think I use, it might be in this episode coming up, the Frankenstein part.
Oh, of this.
Yeah, I think so, because we do a part on horror art and how I try my best to create something haunted art, because of what Dick Miller does in A Bucket of Blood. So
right.
that's like one of the props we'd use there.
That's pretty cool.
And the other one we have coming up on the next episode, we introduce this character. And this is the Siren. And if you take a close look, inside there's like a palm tree. It looks like a beachfront. It's kind of sparkly, because I had to give her a little glamour and glitz.
That's awesome.
It's a character we introduce on the show where you hear her voice through the bottle when it's opened.
She's not in there.
She's not in there now, obviously, but I mean, so when it's opened up, you hear her talk, and I got the idea of just doing the old school message in a bottle.
Yeah.
You always heard stories about pirates that find them floating, and there'd be a message in the bottle that says, "Help! I'm on a deserted island."
Right.
This is kind of like in those regards, but it's a little different. So that's the Siren, and you can see her in there, how it's going to come out to play.
So the Siren's been around for a few episodes, right?
Not yet. We're introducing her in the next episode.
Next episode?
Right.
So, are we ever going to see the Siren, or is she just heard?
Everybody likes to have things on their show, or you see them in a lot of TV shows that, like, people say, oh, like Mulder on the X-Files was known for eating sunflower seeds and sticking his pencils in the ceiling, and that kind of stuff. I like to have something on the show where there's something about each character. So I think that makes interesting television.
Oh, yeah.
I did a soap opera that was 15 episodes long way back in the day when I taught at California University called In Neon. And every character on the show, I wanted to give them something memorable. One was a heavy-set redhead. One was a gorgeous model. One was a TV maker. One was a theater major. That you had some kind of quirk about them that you recognize. Well, Siren, you're just going to hear her voice. So, are you ever going to see Siren? Maybe, because you always want to go, well, I know what she sounds like, what she looked like, and I'm thinking, well, maybe one or two. So that's kind of the mystery. So that's something I thought would be kind of fun as the show evolves.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
we don't know. We may.
Okay. Well, there you go. You heard it here first. So next up, we are going to take some callers. We have people waiting on the line right here.
Oh yeah, we do.
So,
full queue tonight.
Yeah. Let's hope we get to them all.
Call now. If you
the number is right there.
Yep.
There it is. So we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to answer some calls, which you see the number right there. Call that one.
Let me hold it up.
There you go.
Here's the number right
it.
there. Right. Yeah.
And we'll be back. We'll answer some calls, and I don't know. We'll see what trouble this guy's going to get into.
General other debauchery.
Yes. So stick around.
Right after this.
Dead and Buried Treasures is your weekend haunt. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 with a new show the first Friday of the month, right here on this Fright Network affiliate. And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30 with insight into making each episode.
Because I probably look significantly different than
Captain Calico Drake, I do.
Welcome to Walk the Plank, the Dead and Buried Treasures pre-show, and this is your favorite part of this show.
It is. We get to talk with the people.
You do. He's reaching out to the people, one caller at a time.
I'm the king talking to the masses.
And our first caller is not me, although his name is Rich and he's from Beaver Falls.
Oh, very cool.
I can't be in two places at once, but so Rich from Beaver Falls, welcome.
How's it going, Rich?
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I've only recently started watching the show, but then I saw it at my aunt's house over Thanksgiving. But I noticed it wasn't the same episode that was on where I actually lived. So, like, there were two different episodes on about the same time. So, my question is, how did that happen? And two, can you talk about the show and how it's expanded in the area, how it's gotten bigger?
Well, I think I can answer both your questions at the same time. A lot of people in the Pittsburgh area remember Chili Billy in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and he was a great horror host. And there's been other horror hosts since then. A lot of them do it on networks. We go through cable providers, and we go through cable stations and public access and stations like that in the area, Comcast. So that being said, when you talk about he said his aunt?
Mm-hmm.
His aunt may live in the Comcast viewing area, which might be airing an episode we produced 3 weeks ago. But when he goes home to downtown Pittsburgh, now you go from the Comcast viewing area to the PCTV viewing area. So all of a sudden now you have another episode that we produced yesterday there. So, and they all air generally on the weekends, late night television, like 11 o'clock, midnight. There is another affiliate that airs us on Thursday nights for now. But then you also have other networks like the Monster Channel and the Vortex, which can air us whenever they want. Sometimes we'll be on a Wednesday night at 9 or a Saturday night at 8 kind of thing. So we're all over. We tried in the beginning to try to keep it Fridays and Saturdays at 11, but when you deal with so many different contracts and cable providers, it's difficult to do that, because that's what I'd like to say is we're on at one time, but the more popular you get and the bigger you become, we're kind of at the mercy of the people who run the station. So we take whatever they offer. So it's really nice to have, and it's nice too because you may have an episode on tomorrow night that's not the same one that's on tonight, so you get different shows on different nights, and it's kind of a nice thing to have, a pleasant thing to have in reality,
So basically what he's saying is, if you don't like the episode that's on at your aunt's, run home and put it on your
channel
on your network and see if you like that one better.
Yeah, right. And
It's all about options here.
Oh God, this one sucks. And it's like, I'm going to my aunt's house. See you later. And all of a sudden you're over at your aunt's house. Like, this one sucks too. And we're like, that's the point of being, when you make sucky television, it's supposed to be bad.
Yeah, right.
So even if we make a horrible episode, it's
being done on purpose.
Right. That's why at the end of the thing, and everybody said, what's a production company that does these? And I said, it's Wonder Video Services.
Yeah.
If it's a good video, it's a wonder. Yeah.
I love it. So, man. So our next caller is Sam from Rostraver.
Sam, how's it going?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Ken. I know this is a bit late, but I couldn't get through the phone line last time. A while ago, you mentioned that Jack was an actual toy product. I was hoping to get it for my son for Christmas because you said it talked and moved and sang and did things like that. Well, it turns out his birthday's coming up next month, and I was wondering if you could tell me once again what toy company it was made from. My kid would love it because he loves your show. When Jack comes on the screen, my kid he's glued to the TV set. So I greatly appreciate that. Thank you guys, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and keep up the good work, Happy Anniversary, and all that happy stuff. And you guys are doing great.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. What did he say his name was?
That's Sam.
Sam, thank you so much for the kind words, Sam. Jack is, we don't have big spanning Spielberg and Lucas budgets here, so we get along with what we can. Jack was a toy that we had found that was perfect for the show, because I was looking for a co-host, and originally, I'll try to keep reminding me, I have a puppet.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be a puppet.
Oh, yeah, that's
bird
right.
That I keep wanting to bring on the show, and I always forget.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks very different from Jack. He looks a little almost real, but he was almost a co-host. So when I saw Jack, or the toy that is Jack, I was walking through a Target one day, and there he was up on a shelf, 3 of them, and I said, "Oh my, that's kind of cute." And he plays and he sings and he talks and he does all kinds of stuff. And I started monkeying with him. And I must have spent an hour in the store going, because I'm like, here's my new co-host.
Yeah.
And he was pretty expensive. I think it was like maybe around $70, $80.
Yeah, those things.
And I remember I said, just in case one goes out, I bought a couple of them. But yeah, I tell you what, to answer your question, his, I don't know what the name of it is, but it's the Fur Real Corporation. And we're going to maybe sell a few on the website once we get that up and running here. It's FUR-REAL, Fur Real. And he was a limited edition. So I'll warn you of that. Maybe that's why he's so expensive, because you'll see some of the ones for like dogs and cats. And
Yeah, they have all kind. They even have a dinosaur.
Yeah,
My daughter
yeah.
has the dinosaur.
And I saw that too. But the thing is, those sometimes run like $30, $40. And I'm wondering if maybe because I got the cockatoo, it was more expensive, because he sings, he dances, he talks. You'll press his nose and you'll say a statement and he'll repeat it back to you. And they're designed for children, and they're a great thing. They're awesome. They dance, they sing, they move, they're animated. You can see how Jack does his thing. And that's one of the reasons I loved him for the show, because it's just perfect for what we do here. So it's the Fur Real Corporation. Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Oh, wow. We're going to Scott, but he's not from around here.
Scott, where's he from?
Scott is coming from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Oh, wow. Oh, through YouTube.
Hello, Captain Drake.
Yeah.
Am I on the air?
Yes.
Captain
Yeah.
Drake? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for taking my call. My name is Scott, and I'm actually calling from Tampa Bay. I love your show. I watch it on YouTube all the time. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, and my sister babysits, and she was talking about the show she was watching, and she told me to watch it on YouTube. And I love you guys. You guys are great. And what I was wondering, I know you guys always preview movies and the films you're going to host on the show.
Yeah.
But, do you guys ever preview some of the actual shows you're going to do? And what are some of the plans coming forward for Captain Drake and the gang? I will hang up and listen to your answer. And once again, thank you for taking my call.
Not a problem.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you, Scott. No one really ever asked me that before.
No,
But-
it's an incredible process. He has a giant dartboard, and he just closes his eyes and throws the dart.
Today's plot is going to be,
Writes them all down now.
which ain't that far away from the real thing. I sit there, I'll have a drink, and sometimes, I remember Dana, who plays
Gertie.
Dirty Gertie on the show, Professor Gertie, whatever you want to call her, asked me, how do you come up with all these ideas? Sometimes I just sit at the computer, I just start typing, and something pops up, there it is. And I
Sounds
just
good,
gotta
and you
roll
just
with
build
it,
on it.
I generally have a formulated plan of some type, and then it just kind of evolves. But there's a couple of shows coming up. I want to introduce a bad guy on the show in some way, so you'll see that we want to have a recurring villain on the show, which is coming up. The next few episodes, we introduce, of course, the Siren that we talked about in the pre-show. She plays an integral part in things going on. We find her floating in the ocean, that kind of thing. And then, of course, I want to have some kind of a mythology. And I'm not sure what that's going to be yet. I think it's going to have something to do with the location of the island of dead and buried treasures. Something about how, and obviously how it's an enchanted island. I thought, how can we make this thing really interesting? So we want to have, because ultimately we're showing public domain films or some kind of movies, So I thought, you'll probably see it in the next episode, if not the one after. I had the idea, because I have a Christmas tree at my house that is still up. My mother-in-law would be like, "Take that down!" She's the kind that takes Christmas down the day after. You gotta be like, "Oh, what a Christmas morning!" You walk out in the kitchen, all of a sudden it's
done.
No, December 26th.
Oh.
Like the day after Christmas, it's gone. There's
Jagged.
nothing. No tinsel. It's like the Grinch.
Like it never
you
even
see
existed.
the little tinsel ball rolling across
Yeah.
the floor, and she's gone. And she packs it up in her sleigh and takes it back up to the attic. And so I have my Christmas tree up, and I have movie ornaments on my tree and nothing else. My tree is very unique. I have like the Jaws ornament, Alien, Predator, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Iron Man, you name it, Beetlejuice. I mean, it's on my tree. And I thought, I got to incorporate this. I'm sitting there having some, I got to put that on the show somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm thinking about making it some kind of like movie tree of life.
Yeah.
Where like if an ornament falls and breaks, it becomes public domain.
That's pretty cool.
And that's how I have to protect some of these. And it's unique having like a Christmas tree in the middle of an island, on the desert island, So I'm not sure I'm going to do that just yet, but I'm going to have something with this enchanted island and have the tree brings the props to life kind of thing. I still want to make it like a sci-fi pop culture show, but not necessarily all horror. Like make it like a fantasy kind of sci-fi, something like that. So that's a lot of what's coming up on the show in the next few episodes.
Okay. Well, I can squeeze in one more caller here before we go. We have Sarah from Mount Washington.
Hi, Sarah. How are you tonight?
Hello, Captain. I teach video production at a local high school, and I love your show.
Thank you.
I think I love it because it has high production values, much more than other horror shows that I've watched on TV.
High production values.
Because I've taught this stuff, I know what you do has to be crazy difficult. Can you talk a little bit about how hard it is when you do everything that you do to put a show together like this?
Oh, man. Sarah, that's a loaded question. It's so complicated. First of all, let me say I appreciate your appreciativeness toward our high production values. That comes from, I've worked in the business for quite a while, either teaching it or working on different movies in the area, and I didn't want to do a show where it looks bad. I've seen a lot of this, bad lighting and everything. You're not going to go anywhere with that. I want something that somebody who actually wants to watch. So a lot of the movies I even screen, I like to make sure that they're good, not just that they're cheesy like space leeches from Zombie Planet Weirdo. You know, I like them to be good.
That's next week's.
Yes,
movie.
2 weeks. But that's why I chose for tonight The Most Dangerous Game. I thought it was the first movie of its kind to do what you're going to see tonight, and so I like to pay homage to that kind of stuff too. But doing something like this, first of all, I produce it, then I have to market it, then I have to write it, then I have to shoot it, then I have to star in it, then I have to edit it, and it's like a 24-hour job. It really is a job. Doing it from beginning to end, it's just like every time that you get to the next level, you're done with this, you got to move on to the next one, and all happens while you're prepping yourself for the next 3 episodes. So while I'm editing, I also have to write, and I also have to shoot it. So and we do about 12 of these a year, 1 a month. And for being a one-man band like I am, well, you know, you do walk the plank. It's a pain. But it's a pain that you love to do. And you have so much fun doing it. So I might get to the point where I might have to take summers off just to write it and shoot it. So when the fall starts, all I do is edit.
Right.
Because right now, doing it all in a month is crazy hard. Crazy hard. And it's strenuous.
Yeah.
It really is.
A lot of work. Easier than it looks.
Yeah. What? No, I get it. It's and a lot of people think that too. They'll say, they'll go home and they'll watch like a behind the scenes special, the making of Star Wars on HBO, and now they know how movies work.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest things you can have is experience, even more so than in a book. Like all the people that make videos on YouTube and stuff, at least they're experiencing problems because you deal with that every day. It's not just like everybody seems to think, well, I read how to turn on a camera. Now I can do it.
Right.
But you don't go through the
more
hassle of what if the battery's not charged? What if there's no power? What if you forgot the cords to all that back at the house? What if you forgot the battery? Or didn't charge the battery? It's like any one of a number of significant factors can happen that throws your show in a tizzy. So the experience is big on this. So yeah, we deal with a lot of problems. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate your kind words. That was nice.
Thank you for all the callers that called in today. Sorry we couldn't get to everybody, but we are out of time.
What?
Yeah, well, we got to...
How about if I use Dumbledore's wand and we'll just make it, we'll give us some extra time.
No, don't do that. No. That's just more work for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that. See my rock eye?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not really. That's more like the, what did Dana call, or Joe, Dana's Messino eye?
The Messino eye, yeah, that's right.
Messino eye.
That's not bad. Not bad. So enjoy the double feature. It's coming up next. Bucket of Blood and The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah, and you'll have fun with both. It's a lot of fun, especially an homage to Dick Miller, who passed, and really all of the entire cast, Pay Rate, everybody from The Most Dangerous Game. So they're good movies.
Yes.
They're good.
So enjoy, stick around, and we'll see you next time.
Next time, take care.